mask, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mask, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
I woke up, then I logged in to that Urban X where they be flexing with that blog in. Put it down, cause my little homie called in. Had to bail him out, he in trouble with the law again. Black skin can't win in the white world. Seen a brother kill his own kid for that white girl. We ain't wanna go to school, but we had to. Every February it was scary in them classrooms. Shimmy y'all, shimmy yay. Old dirty bastards can't own dirty slaves, or they own dirty masters. Black Dot found a pot as a youngin', broke it down for his son, and now he serve it to the masses.
Black mask, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mask, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
Urban excellence, a product of my residence. From 4 to 44, Obama was the president. I told mama I ain't tryna go to church. I'm like Adam, every Adam is a product of the dirt. And I've been reaping what he sowed. I got the product, got the dirt. And I can teach you what I know, but then you gotta put in work. You in trouble if you waiting on the government. I told my bro I make it out the hood, and that's a covenant.
Peace. Welcome back to another episode of the Urban X Podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Malcolm. This is the Black Dot. We're here with you, live and direct in the set. What's happening, everybody?
What's good?
Number one father and show podcast on the planet.
Microphone check 1 2.
You know what I'm saying?
1 2.
What's good?
Hope all is well out there in the Urban X Nation. I gotta make a quick apology about our audio.
Oh yeah.
From last week.
Yeah.
That was completely on dot. Rushing to get the audio to our, loyal listeners, and I screwed some things up.
Yeah.
And I told Malcolm to clean it up, and he did not. So it's really his fault, because once the mistake was made and was recognized by me, his job was to come through and make it better.
Yeah,
for
it
you.
wasn't recognized by you. One of my boys hit me up who listened to the show. Shouts out to my man Kenneth. He listened to the show. He said, "Yo, what's up with it?" I tell you, mind you, I'm down here slaving.
Me too.
Slaving because
We're
I'm
all
trying to
slaving.
get these orders out. No. We're talking about me. We're talking about me.
All right.
Okay?
Listen.
Down here slaving. Okay? Trying to get everything right. And then he goes, all right, the show's ready, but help me over here with this real quick. And then I go back to slaving and helping him. That's why I forgot.
Because he cannot walk and chew gum at the same time.
Says the one who messed it up in the first place.
So, as a bonus, Malcolm will be sending each and every one of you $5.
I'm playing. They're holding to that.
Hold to it.
No.
Appreciate it.
No.
Appreciate it.
But also another quick announcement. As we've just alluded to, we are getting more and more orders out every day.
Oh, every day. Every day.
We're getting them out. If you've seen us on the gram, you watched our stories, you see how, you see it. So we are working in here, so we got you.
Yeah, I haven't had a day off in about 9 days.
Yeah, straight. Yeah, we've just been working, which is dope. It's a great problem to have. We appreciate you. Thank you.
We appreciate you, but so be a little patient. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's gonna get there for you. That we promise.
Yes.
We're definitely gonna get that out to you. We got Red Pill on the show.
Yeah, coming in a little later.
Coming in a little bit later, so hang for that. He's gonna get into this AI thing in depth. You know what I'm saying? So that we don't be afraid of what the future has, and we can take full advantage of the opportunities, because whenever this happens, there's an economic shift. And usually we're on the back end of this, but this AI is running right up our alley.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So let's do a roll call, see who's in the building early.
I feel like I saw Compton in the house early.
Okay, Compton in the building. I love it.
Connecticut, Austin.
South Cackalack in the building.
Who else? Yeah, I saw South Carolina. Chicago was
Chicago in the building. What's up?
Peace
We'll
from
talk
London.
about y'all in a minute.
London was good.
Yeah, man, girl out there, Lightfoot bucket.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. He was right the first time.
Alabama checking in.
Jersey
Florida
in the
checking
building.
in. Detroit checking in. The Mile High City is checking in.
Michigan in the building. Youngstown, Ohio. Youngstown. Is it Youngstown? Youngstown. Hampton, VA was good.
What's good?
B-more was good. Atlanta.
Vegas.
How done? Y'all say Atlanta different.
B-more.
Y'all say Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Yeah, y'all say
Atlanta.
the whole thing. Yeah.
You know?
Delaware in the building. What's good? Brooklyn, always.
Everybody's
Fort
in
Lauderdale,
the building,
always.
man. And we appreciate the continued support.
Oh, also, yo, the sale is like legit over tomorrow.
Yes.
Like the wrap, like the doors shut. So if you want something, you waited to the very last minute, because this is last minute. This is very black person of you.
Yes, it is very black of you.
Very black of you. You waited to the exact last minute. It ends tomorrow. The cart closes. There will be no more discounts. Everything is back up to full price after tomorrow. So if you have it, if you want something, go to shopurbanx.com.
Yes.
And yes, make our weekend even tougher.
Yes, do that.
All right?
Do that. And yeah, as you see, we showing you the Ashe. First of all, that Ashe hat
It's a nice hat.
is
It's a
crazy.
nice hat. Yes, it is.
That the lady with the crystals,
Yes.
crazy. Everything is crazy, man.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, we really stuck our foot in the ingredients this year around.
All right?
All right,
So let's get to it, man.
let's get to it, man. Got a great show for you.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So March 1st, March is Women's History Month, right?
Women's History Month. All the ladies, single ladies, all the single ladies. All
Women's History Month. So Hershey, the chocolate company, Hershey, the
Yes.
Hershey Park and stuff like that, they rolled out their newest Women's History Month campaign,
All right.
and it was a transgendered woman
Oh, okay.
leading the charge, leading the campaign,
Leading the campaign.
as the face of the campaign.
So this is Women's Month, and they're using what is perceived to be a woman. I mean, someone who feels like a woman.
Yes, what they're trying to define as a woman.
So,
yes.
so the audacity. I'm just gonna get right to it.
Okay.
Of Hershey,
Yeah.
her and she. We've always associated that with women.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there.
See what I did there?
See what you did
Her
there. I see
and
what you did.
she?
I see what you did there. I'm picking up what you're putting
Okay,
down.
you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah.
And for them now to say, we want to be the vanguards to come out in front and say, it is now your interpretation of what a woman is. And I'm not going to get into this big ass debate about what a woman, you know what a woman is.
Yo, you know what clip is going viral again? Candace Owens and Malcolm Hill.
Yeah.
When Candace Owens asks him straight up, can a man get pregnant? And he says, depends.
Okay, so he's paid for and bought.
Yes.
For him to look anybody in the face
Yes.
and say that, then you are sick and delusional.
So the only reason I actually even saw this, because I didn't see it on TV or nothing like that. I saw it just on the timeline because Go Woke, Go Broke was trending on Twitter. So I just clicked on that to see what's up. And then it was about this, and people were saying like Hershey is about to lose a lot of money because one, I've always said that a lot of this transgender conversation is built around or is built upon a really loud minority that just happens to be on social media. TikTok, Twitter, the bots and stuff like that. It seems like there is way more of an audience for that when it really isn't. There are gay people who just say, okay, this is out of hand. You get what I'm saying? There are gay people, lesbians who say like, yo, how are you telling me that's a woman? I'm a woman and I like other women and the whole my whole identity is wrapped around me being a woman.
Yes.
And you're telling me this is what a woman is. You get what I'm
Yes.
saying? So
The world is going mad, Malcolm.
it is insane.
And let me say this again. Whatever you decide to parade around yourself to be, that's your business. But you are not going to insult my intuitiveness, my nature. The very nature of who I am will not be in jeopardy because you are projecting Remember, it's a small percentage of people sitting in high places that control many outlets that are spreading an agenda to try to get you to come over to their side of this. Again, and I'm not talking about the ones who are going through their own personal journey. If you have no agenda, live your life to the fullest. That's what this is really all about. This is what we call an agenda. This is a corporation. I've eaten many a Hershey.
I'm gonna need you to, I'm gonna need you to.
No, I like the Hershey with almonds.
Okay.
That used to be my little go-to snack. You know, late at night you have a little snack. That was and growing up, Hershey.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just being honest here. Was my go-to candy. I love chocolate. Chocolate Hershey's. Oh God. Ooh. Right?
Thank you, people in the chat. Pause.
So, no, when I said almonds, I said pause.
Okay.
I did. I said almonds, pause. Right? So, now you're trying to mess with people's childhoods. You're trying to, you know what I mean? Because that's what that does. That messes with your reality in a sense. Same thing with the M&Ms.
Yo, but when these big corporations, when they do that, it's usually they're taking advice from people who are not outside. You get what I'm saying? Or they taking the advice of like all controversy is good controversy. You get, it's either one of those two schools of thoughts.
Right.
Now, when like Disney, they lost a lot of money because they put these images or these ideas in movies. And I told you it's a silent protest happening with just people's money. Like, okay, I'm not taking my kid to see that.
Right.
My kid is not old enough to go see that by himself or herself. I am. You know what I'm saying? That's my child. I'm not taking my child to see that.
No, absolutely.
So now look, right? You did all that for no reason. Now that money, that movie bombed or something like that, right? So when these big corporations do it, I feel like they really are just soups, just scrolling the timeline, just trying to see what will move the needle, not what is going to make them money.
I actually think it's deeper than that. I think it's an all-out agenda by a very few people who live that lifestyle, who are trying to get you to go against nature.
So I've been thinking about this for a while because it feels like we see a lot of things that's happening, right? In culture, society, and politics, right? And it feels like no matter how much it can be right in your face, they still do it, right? Biden, he'll just say some really off, like he'll just say, and just like, yo, you know what I mean? You don't worry about the backlash from the people, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I think it goes all the way back to when Obama was the president. And let me explain, right? So when Obama became president, that angered a whole half of the country, right? He did 2 terms. It angered and infuriated a whole half of the country to the point where Trump, the antithesis. Yes, I was about to screw that up. White dude saying whatever he wanted, that emboldened that crowd that was angry for 8 years, right?
Absolutely.
Trump now was president for 4 years now. Every TV station, every comedian, everybody was against Trump. I've never seen nothing like that before in my life. Everybody, right? So what that did was that emboldened his crowd even more. Then I got the people who are not Trump fans upset even more. So now Biden is in. So the people, the cult of Biden are so brainwashed, and they want to be brainwashed. They're so like, we don't care what he does as long as it's not Trump and as long as it pisses you off. Whatever, conservative. And no matter what we see, it can be right in your face. Drag shows for kids. That just, I feel like 4 years ago, we would have looked at that like, yo, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? If you're against that, you're transphobic. I saw this woman, this Muslim woman. She was on TikTok. She was going at this transgender activist dude because he has a Patreon for kids. He was telling kids, "Listen, I have a Patreon so we can talk in private."
Wow.
So we can, you don't have to tell your parents. We can talk in private. And she was just like, "That's grooming." And then people were coming at her like she's the transphobic one.
Wow. You
get what I'm saying? Like we see it. But we're so brainwashed into these cults now. Like, you're this side or that side. That common sense goes out the window. And I think it started with Obama. I really do. I think it started, you started, like, pushing buttons. extremes. Like that started the extremes, I think.
Okay,
Me
I
personally.
think it's not that the extremes weren't started. Once they move forward, they never retreat.
Right.
This whole gay LBGT, when did all of these letters show up? That showed up before Obama. A lot of letters started emerging way before Obama. All right, the Obama was maybe the peak of them getting the rights that they wanted.
Okay.
But the LBGT, they keep adding letters. I don't know how many there are now.
2IA.
Yeah,
division,
yeah. It's division. It's multiplication. It's all kind of weird stuff now. And again, moving forward with no retreat. If the source of all of the information you receive is perverted from the top with an agenda to turn you against God, turn you against your very nature, then this is the culmination of it all. However we get there, the culmination of it all is taking place in real time. See, if you're God's children and you're the chosen ones of God, and I don't mean like a mystery God, I mean you own the earth. You've been here the longest. Your codex, your very codex has God in it. What they're doing is turning you against your nature. When you start acting other than self, you have been turned against your nature. And I spoke in my book, Urban Culture Decoded, about things that are natural and things that are normal. Two different things, but they run along the same accord. We have normalized so many things that have never been natural, and now they once they start doing it with your cartoons. First of all, cartoons are make believe. These characters, talking about the M&Ms and Ernie and Bert, and all of these characters are make believe. Now they have tapped into your make believe world and have you questioning who you are from a make believe standpoint. So can you imagine what they have lined up for you in your so-called real life? And see, this is what we're dealing with when Hershey's, a goddamn candy bar, a candy company that's probably associated with happiness and America. You got Hershey Park, you know what I mean? It's a staple here, and now they're telling you where they're pivoting for this month. They're not gonna highlight a beautiful woman, a woman in all essence of the word. Natural, beautiful. I wouldn't care if they said this white woman is the Hershey Woman of the Month that we're going to honor.
Really, that?
Well, I'm just saying.
I
mean, as opposed to.
I got you.
Now you have somebody who's parading. Next thing you know, it'll be a banana. Why not put a banana up there and say this banana feels? You know what I mean? Where do we draw the line with all of this craziness? And they move forward and they never retreat. Now they down to your candy bars. They done screwed up your cartoon characters. They done screwed up your M&M characters and your candy characters. They done screwed up Sesame Street. They done screwed up everything that you've enjoyed. And now they're going after your candy?
You know what?
All right.
It's because thank you for the super chat. Daryl Johnson said that makes him heterophobic. That's a fact. But you know what? It's what I've seen too. I don't feel like a lot of the people who keep pushing this message even believe it themselves. I think a lot of people are scared of the quote unquote public, because I don't really think it's. I promise you, I don't think it's. I don't think it's like real people that are angry at this, right? What it is people are fighting, are defending it before it happens, and I'm trying to explain this in a way. Okay, now you do something, I think I'm gonna get in trouble for you doing it or for you saying it, so I get at you. And
you jump ahead.
And that's what a lot of people are doing.
Well, imagine working in the corporate offices as a black man of Hershey's, and they roll this idea out, right? And you a man's man,
and you go, what?
And you can't do that because your job is on the line.
Exactly. So think about news corporations,
yes,
the news who do that. Think about like any entertainment. Think about when somebody you know knows better comes out and you can substitute this topic with any other topic.
Any other topic,
right?
Yes.
You know somebody knows better, and then they jump out in front. I don't agree with Kanye statements. Or, I don't agree with.
Perfect example.
You get what I'm saying?
The jibbity jab.
Exactly.
How many people jumped out on the jibbity jab because Pfizer was cutting checks or the status quo? This is what I mean by when you are owned by a corporation and you go against their beliefs. I work for Hershey. I'm a man's man. And I'm in the boardroom and they pull down the curtain and unveil for Women's Month. We're going to, we're going to represent or honor a trans woman. You know what I mean? And everybody around there clapping. What you think I'm going to do? I need this job and shit. Noble need all kind of shit.
Yeah. That's what happens. It's like I snitch or I have to get it in front because if he sees me not clapping and if she sees me not clapping.
Absolutely.
And then I don't.
And this is why the corporations, when you think you have all those followers or whatever, you don't. They're letting you borrow that until they say to you, we need you to get in line with this.
Yeah.
We need you to get behind. Let's say somebody big in the music industry really just comes out, not Boosie, because, come on, man, you can't do that.
Come on now, dog.
Come on now, dog. I've been eating Hershey all my life, dog. Come on now. So we're not talking about Boosie.
Right.
Somebody else respectable come out and go, I'm not with that. As a matter of fact, I'm never buying another Hershey bar. And they got 40 million subscribers. They gonna look at who on the list that can counter that and go, look, we need you to go at homie.
Yeah.
We need all of you to go at homie right away.
But then again, this goes back to my original point. Those corporations usually be afraid of a loud minority.
Yes.
They think that more people are on this so it's like it's real inception. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a weird I think people are going to Hershey thinks people are going to get behind this. So we're behind it all the way. But even though people going to go
But see, that's when they have their counter influencers.
Yeah.
Try to sway back
Yeah.
the public and have you start questioning and have people in your chat like, yo, that's very transphobic of you because women is whatever you wanted to be. No, they're not. Please stop. I've been seeing women. I came out of one all my life. I know what a woman is. I know what female is. Energy, the whole nine. Now, I also know what someone who's chemically off balance is and may be expressing themselves other than themselves, which is their journey. But do not tell me, do not insult my God-given understanding, intuitiveness, and nature and telling me that that is a woman. As a matter of fact, the candy is nasty now. I'm never going to eat another one. I advise you to join me. We only got 50-something thousand people with us. We advise you to join us and do not eat the Hershey's. Now, is Snickers down with that too?
I don't know,
M&M's and all of them. Because I put my foot in my mouth.
I
can't eat a Snickers.
You ever see an actor or somebody like an influencer? They say something they just kind of say something off the cuff, and people on Twitter or somebody on Instagram try to snitch, and they tag their bosses or they tag Nike y'all stand behind this. They tag the NBA.
Yes,
y'all stand behind that.
They do it all the time.
That's what it be.
Yeah.
These corporations, once they own you, it's a wrap.
And that's what killed hip hop, or the spirit of it, is that the artists no longer represent the people.
Yeah, no.
The artists represent the corporations, whoever's cutting the checks. And they'll get in front of you and sell you all kind of things that they know this killed their own mother. Diabetes might have killed their own mother, and they will get up and sell you something with diabetes in it and say it's your choice. Well, technically we know it is,
right.
But we also know the power of influence and what that does to little babies and everybody else. You know what I mean? But everybody got to get paid. So I have to shut up as Black Dot because everybody got to get paid. The money rules everything. You know what I'm saying? Piss poor mentality, makes God your savior, or whatever it is I used to say. When you're poor, when your religion is poor.
Religion is poverty.
Yeah, God becomes your...
Whatever, money becomes your God.
Money becomes your God.
Yeah, you tried to coin that
because
phrase.
I got 1 million of them. I just be rolling them out. And if they catch, they catch. You know what I mean?
Man.
So I'm gonna just say, with all due respect, fuck Hershey's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hershey, the new Hershey bar,
Jeez, man.
the her bar, the she bar. That's what it is. It's the she bar. Let me get a she bar.
I think that's what we're gonna name the audio.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get a she bar with nuts. Yeah, she bar with nuts. Y'all got that? Let me get that. Yeah, that's how it's gonna go.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
Somebody said Tim Norman, the son from Sweetie Pies. Yeah, he was sentenced to life.
Yeah, they bagged him.
Yeah. He tried to get like his nephew killed or something.
He did that shit. Yeah. He did kill him.
He did kill him. Oh,
for insurance
right.
money.
Yeah,
Insurance money.
yeah. Life.
Shout out Aris. I see you in the chat there.
Damn.
Heard you got some new heat coming. I don't want to give it away, but I'm hearing some things. Goodness,
man.
Yeah.
So, Ja Morant I think it was a warrant issued out for his arrest, right?
Yeah.
As a result of the story goes, he punched a 17-year-old.
He was clocking him, and then he pulled the joint on him.
Pulled the hammer out on him.
Yeah.
And threatened a mall security guard.
Yes.
What's going on? With dude,
he's having an identity crisis. He comes from a very nice family with a mother and father.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying, in the South, well raised. He gets to Tennessee, Memphis, and all of a sudden he's a gangster now. And he's got this gangster persona. He's $170.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he shouldn't be talking nothing gangster. That goes to show how far the NBA has come too, because back in the days, Charles Barkley would just smack the shit out of him. On the court. And they would just call a foul. They go, a foul.
Not even a flagrant.
Even a flagrant. Go shoot your 2 free throws. So back in the day, you talk smack, you had to be able to back that up on the court in real time.
Yeah.
And these was thugs in there. These dudes look like, this is all I got is this game.
Yeah.
And now the game is soft. That's why you see dudes in between. Because nobody want to get that 4 or 5 game suspension. So they ain't in the other's face talking like, why? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Yeah.
And ain't nothing gonna happen. At 170 pounds, you supposed to dunk and keep it moving.
Yeah.
And even if he played back then and he dunked like that on a big man, the big man said, you got one time to do that. All right, little man.
Yeah.
I saw you.
Yeah.
The next time you even come anywhere remotely near here, this is what created Steph Curry. He did that light-skinned dude ain't want no smoke. He ain't want to penetrate and get them Allen Iverson elbows to the throat. When they showed Allen Iverson's body chart of every bone he broke in his body, it was ridiculous. You know what I mean? So he decided, I'll not cheat the game. I'll find loopholes within the game.
Yeah.
And start shooting from the moon. Before the defense even gets set, I'm firing.
Yeah.
I don't want no smoke, no contact. I don't want nobody to breathe on me. If Ja Morant played in the era which he would be, his career would be over. It's as simple as that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with that being said, I don't know who he's around. Out there in Memphis, he brought his dudes with him. And I'm not saying a lot of these dudes don't get tested, but you got to keep the right security with you so you don't have to deal with that. Because he's getting a bad reputation.
Yeah, because what it seems like to me now, it seems like he is becoming like a victim of his reputation now.
Yes.
So now people are going to try him.
Yes.
So now people are in public now because like now
because you're a magnet for that.
And now authorities, journalists, they're going to be looking for any trouble you in.
Absolutely.
You get into it with the Starbucks lady for pronouncing your name wrong.
Absolutely.
Ja Morant, you get what I'm saying? So I think he needs to just chill. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And it's real thugs out there in Memphis.
Oh, in Memphis.
They're not playing out there.
That's out there, Memphis.
You know what I mean? So, so that just goes to show he needs to just calm down. He just got the Nike deal from Kyrie. Nike is a corporation. Back to the corporation bit. They own you in that sense. You wearing our sneakers. We pay you, but you wearing our sneakers, and that's not the image that we want to. So get your team together. And I told you, Silver and them know everything about you. They know the dudes you hang out with, the dudes you grew up with, who's selling drugs, what your pops is into, because his pops be on the sideline. I can hit, like, he a gangster, he thug. So something is going to have to give. Didn't the refs start treating you a certain way?
Exactly.
Like, oh, okay, foul.
Yeah.
You know, just because I don't like you.
Yeah.
So all of this has to come to a stop.
Exactly, yeah.
Somebody who he loves and trusts must sit him down and say, you still got time to clean yourself up and just play, let your game, because you haven't even won nothing. I could see if he was a champ and then he flexing, you haven't won anything. Win something, because I love his game. I love the high-flying game and stuff like that, but something is going to have to give because somebody's going to try to hurt him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So get it together.
Yo, so there was an article out, and this is sticking with basketball real quick. There was an article out, and they were talking about how AAU is ruining basketball players.
It is.
Because the AAU season is so strenuous. There's so many games that they're playing that by the time they get to the NBA, they're broken.
Yep.
The Ball brothers are out.
They're done.
They Alonzo is hurt. Like, they still don't know what's up with him.
LaMelo is hurt.
Like,
other brother's a thief. Yeah. And my teeth.
Yeah. So I think they have to do some like restructuring with that too.
And remember, not only that, these guys know each other so much, so there's not enough a rivalry in the NBA because all of these guys grew up together. The ranking and this ESPN stuff. I wrote that in Urban Culture Decoded. Want to plug that again?
I think the
ESPN effect, or how they're ranking these kids so early that it has affected the way these kids act and go about things. So yeah, the AAU, but that's a mob run situation. Because they're grooming, it's like grooming slaves.
Yeah, hell yeah.
They're grooming the next set of
I know
stars.
where I'm gonna put my money in, like early. Like you,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
You can look at a 14-year-old and go, "I'm investing in him. That's my goyim."
Was my man? He's an assistant principal at a school in Harlem, and one of the kids is already like getting like noticed, like getting like deals and stuff. He was like, we already couldn't tell him nothing. Now we definitely
can't tell him nothing. Yeah.
In the 8th grade, you know what I'm saying? Like I saw a basketball ranking for like 2031 or something ill. Like like these kids in middle school.
Yeah. But if you understand the way this works, these become your goyim. You know what I mean? So you invest in them and create the environment. Early. Your future stays on top. And when they blossom, you don't think the people in Ohio knew LeBron was going to be LeBron? Stephon Marbury was on the cover of Sports Illustrated at 14. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they already knew this is the future. Let's get involved. And we're the only ones who get late on that kind of stuff. And I say goyim because there are individuals who know that you're magical. You know what I mean? You see these kids fly through the air. Your conscious mind picks that up in real time. I saw the high school kids.
Yo, you sent me these 17-year-old dunk contests.
Ridiculous.
Yo,
dunks I had never seen before. But your subconscious mind has the ability to see it in super duper 3D slow mo. And you can't tell me we can't walk on air.
Yeah.
Yes, we can walk on air. And yes, we can do 360s in the air. And yes, we can contort the basketball and put a spin on it and have it ricochet into the rim. And we understand geometry with a round ball weighing this much with a square backboard. We know all of that just by living it. We the gods of that. So they invest in you and you become their goyim. They put you on their dresser. A little miniature one of you because they're going to ride you to more success than your own family will. And you can count on that. I think it's time for a quick commercial break.
Yes, we'll be right back.
Quick commercial break. We're going to come right back.
We'll be right back. All right.
Yep.
Ready for a podcast that helps you get serious about life while giving you something to laugh about? Find what you want in life and love with the Girl Stop Playing podcast. Join Coriel for brand new episodes every Monday and Thursday on YouTube and all audio platforms. Past guests include gold medal Olympian Sanya Richards-Ross and Grammy-nominated rapper David Banner. Get motivated, tune in, share with a friend, and girl, stop playing. GirlStopPod.com.
Love is more than just a word or feeling. It's an action. Show your loved ones there's nothing in this world you wouldn't do for them by putting that feeling into action. Provide them with a peace of mind in good and not so good times. Putting your love into action starts with a simple phone call to Eris Stirrup, your New York Life agent. I can be reached at 951-319-1059. Let me help you provide your family with a peace of mind.
Hello, wealthy family. This is Chanel, the Ascending Infinite Goddess, and I am happy to announce that I am back and in full effect, ready to work with you on your spiritual journey. Whether you're looking to balance your chakras with an infusion of Reiki energy, or you're looking to connect with your spirit team with an angel oracle reading and get some clarification or confirmation on your love life or your career, finances, or just life in general. Or perhaps you're looking for a non-judgmental, safe space to receive some mental ease, I am here to help you. So be sure to visit my website, www.ascendinginfinitegoddess.com. See all the services that I provide. Get to know me a little bit better. And also, feel free to visit my YouTube channel, Ascending Infinite Goddess, and see hundreds of videos that I have available for free to help you on your spiritual journey. Until we connect again, stay alert, stay aware, and live in love. Peace.
I think they're both gonna stay, and they're gonna try again next year. Just being realistic. It depends on the coach.
The Hornets
I heard about the Hornets.
Westbrook.
I wouldn't be mad.
Minnesota has disgusted me this entire series. So I'm off that shit. Also, I'm very upset that Ja Morant got this award. So I hope we see them in the second round so Poole can whoop his behind for 7 games in a row.
And we're back.
And we are back in the mix
with you guys. Thank y'all for joining us yet again.
Thank you for the new advertising.
Yes.
You know what? If you get in under the radar right now, sales at urbanx.nyc, we might be able to slide you in there, for some of that new heat. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chanel who gave me my reading.
Yes.
This week.
She was showing off her calendar on her birthday because her birthday had just passed. When's Lord Knows' birthday?
Today, is it? It was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Shouts out to Lord Knows' birthday was yesterday.
Shout out to Lord Knows.
And then the baby's birthday is
coming up.
Yeah.
Well, I think I might have gotten the first reading from Chanel and the baby because she was doing my reading, and baby boy kept reaching in and pulling out the same card 3 times in a row.
That's dope.
So I might be the only one who got a reading from the baby and Chanel.
That's dope.
Off the hook. You need to get on her calendar. Our sister Aris is back in the mix.
Yes.
And we're gonna have her come back on and give her some shine because we need to know all the new changes going on with life insurance. Why it's more important, why it's really good to invest in it as something that can hold you down. Mm-hmm. Not just, we can't be doing fish fries and shit when family members pass. That is so, I hate it when I see it. I'm like, damn, you didn't have no insurance? Like, you didn't think about nothing while you was here? Like, damn. And every time I saw you had on new sneakers and you was fronting like you was
and life insurance doesn't have to be expensive.
It doesn't have to be expensive, especially if you're in pretty good health. Yo, happy birthday to somebody. I missed it. 54 years old. All right. Welcome to the 54 Club. And so that's what we're talking about. And we got Red Pill coming up.
Yes. We're gonna be talking. So get some questions.
And Red Pill is busy because he was just over
Brother Rich
with Brother Rich, and then he's coming over here to us, and we're gonna get this thing going. So right after this next commercial break, we'll bring the God in, and we'll get into tackle this AI situation from somebody who knows what they're talking about.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody asked me, Dotson, how much did the Italian language influence the New York accent? I have no idea. I've never once listened to an Italian dude. Like, I feel like when they do the like the movie version of what a New York accent sounds
it's to make it sound like
I'm walking here.
You know, I'm walking here. Could you move out of the way here? You mooly, I'm walking.
Yeah, we don't talk like that.
You know, what you talking about?
Yeah.
Now, we don't see that, and they don't talk like that. You
know.
talking to me? No. Yeah, who you talking to? Now, I have been in Italian neighborhoods where they flex their muscle a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's their hood. And they will flex their muscle. You know what I'm saying? $5 super chat. Keep up that shit. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheik David.
Sheik David. Thank you so much for the support.
Yeah, I think more people, especially because like you would think like, you know, the internet kind of made the world a little smaller, but there's still a lot of nuances between different cities, different states, different parts within the same city that people, you know, that you don't understand. That when people start talking about other states, you're like, okay, yeah, you wouldn't get that though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always see debates about New York and California, and y'all niggas do this with this, and y'all do this with this. I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, it's different.
I think it's more of the energy grid lines that we're on. When people congregate, different people in different regions, they create their own lingo, their own spin. Even though the world now, because I will admit, BET was the first to really shrink the world. Oh. Because fashion in New York used to be New York fashion. Oh. And then you started watching all the videos and okay, all right,
Mason,
DJ.
Shout out to your mama. Yeah.
Shout out to mama. Finished up that today.
Yeah.
Sending out love, all right? And I think BET they started showing these videos across the country. And so the New York fashion started spreading. The Southern lingo started moving this way. And BET was the first that I saw really open up that channel. Now the internet is a whole different world, but some people still, some regions still stand firm because they were on a grid that produces that kind of energy. Like you can go to New Orleans. New Orleans ain't gonna sound like New York. Right. Atlanta's not gonna sound like New York.
But like they take their understanding of how they live in whatever city they're from and apply it to somewhere else. You get what I'm saying?
But the universal language is hip hop.
That's a fact. But even still, right? So like in California, I did not know until like you watch YouTube stuff like the beef between like black and brown was really like that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
From
like it's really, really like that. Like we don't
it's not like that here in the
East.
It's
not really like that here. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
and then people they look at us and say, y'all New York, y'all soft, man.
Yeah, but
y'all should be killing Mexican. Whoa.
But we don't have that energy here. And I understand proximity to where Cali is and perhaps Mexico or whatever the case may be. I don't know if that's close. It's close.
It's on the border. I mean, Southern California.
Okay, so the proximity of those regions would bring about a certain class culturally.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? But we've never, because New York is like, everybody showed up in New York. It's like a melting pot. So everybody just showed up, and here we are. You know, as opposed to, you know, something where it's always been this way, and now the invaders are showing up, so to speak. And so just something to think about. And I say hip-hop being a universal language, variations of hip-hop.
Yeah.
But if you speak the lingo, the language, the swag, you know, you can pretty much get in where you fit in, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, because like my boy, he actually went to Cali, and then him and his brothers, and then like they were able to just kind of politic around. Like they went somewhere, they saw dudes, they were able to kind of, you know, it wasn't like we friends, but it wasn't beef. Right. They were just kind of still like, y'all looking for some herb. What's up? You got? They're able to like to speak the language, the universal language, as you said.
Absolutely.
I always think that's interesting, though.
Yeah. Very good points.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So, Chicago Mayor Lightfoot, she lost the runoff. Like, she lost the chance to get to the runoff.
Yes.
And then she blamed it on her being a black woman, not on her city being a total failure.
She blamed it on her being a black woman.
Yeah, she said, I'm a black woman, I'm gay, and she blamed it on everything.
So in the middle of Black Women's Month, not Black Women's Month. Women's Month.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Hershey.
Yes.
And she kind of got a little Hershey vibe to her. She do. She got a little Hershey vibe. And so now, sponsored by Hershey, she's going to make a statement like that. Mm-hmm. That's a bad statement to make.
No, and you know what? It's
the wrong time.
It's like, I didn't expect anything different. Like, you're not going to take responsibility for how you ran the city.
Yes.
You're not going to take responsibility for anything.
And it's bad out there.
It's very easy to just blame Trump supporters when you lose. But the only thing is actually interesting. There's no Republican running for mayor in Chicago. I'm the Democrat.
No, is that right? Mm-hmm. Thank you, somebody, for the super chat.
Real quick, and the super chat. Somebody said, "Woke Old Navy loses millions catering to obese and super small women. Surplus of inventory irking regular size customers." That's what happens.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, you try to go out on the ledge and make clothing. Now, I do like the mannequins that are real. I see some mannequins with a pop gut. And I'm like, that's how I'm gonna look when I wear that shit. I don't show me some shit that I know, because I buy it and I'll be standing in the club thinking that that's the way I look, and I look like the mannequin. So give me the mannequin up front. It's real. You know what I'm saying? He got a pop gut, his ass is small, you know what I'm saying, flabby arms. That's me.
Yeah.
Give me that shirt just like that, so we don't have to get anything confused.
Last thing first. Thank you.
Yeah.
And somebody and the people were asking like the right question in the chat, like, how did she get elected in the first place if that was the case?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
well, so you right.
Stacey Abrams tried to pull that too just last.
If you want to know about the unknown, you studied it on. It got you elected. It wasn't a problem. Now the re-election is a problem. No, the city was just going to crumbles. Shambles. And I'm not going to say it all falls on the mayor per se, but you're the front person. You're the voice piece of this city, so you have to take the responsibility for that.
Facts, heavy as the head, because if that was anybody else, again, if there was somebody that they didn't like, or it was a Republican or something like that, they blaming you.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna blame that person. So that's what you were the mayor, you get the blame.
That's the way it goes.
That's just how politics goes.
That's the way politics goes.
Somebody said not Beetlejuice. Yeah.
Beetlejuice. Yeah. That's a fact.
You're listening to the sounds of Urban X.
So do you guys remember the police scandal? I think was in Tennessee, in Memphis.
Which one? There's been a couple of them.
Yeah. The cops was all messing with the white girl. They was all running trains on.
Free lunch. Yeah.
That's what we called it.
She was free lunch.
Oh, got it. So haven't heard anything from her in a while, but she's coming out now and saying that the officers in question took advantage of her. They were grooming her,
as she should say.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That was a great flip.
That's a great flip.
Great flip. I was
only doing this because I was groomed.
Yeah, smart
to do it. I didn't know any better as a white woman.
A little white girl,
an innocent
flipped it on
little
them black
white
dudes.
Girl. These big, burly, black, aggressive men who were just so influential on me, and I felt intimidated being around them. And then once one engaged me, he told his friends, and then they all joined in, and in a whole chaos of fear.
Yeah.
I just kept giving up the ass, just over, and I didn't enjoy none of it. It just was work, and as a result of this, I
thought I was gonna lose my job.
Million. I'm suing them and you, the police department, for allowing this to happen
and embarrassing me
in front of my good, clean, wholesome white husband and children.
Yeah, she's gonna get that money.
Yeah, get that money. Yeah. If I'm her lawyer, that's what we going with. I'm like, that's what happened.
You know what's
Your Honor, look at all those big.
Yeah, I'm telling
niggas.
you. I promise you. I read that and I said, that's a good one. Like,
yeah.
That's a good one.
Your Honor, it's clear. These big burly niggas. I mean, officers clearly had something to do with this. Clearly.
Jeez, man.
Yeah. That's dope.
Did you guys see that deposition with that cop? I forget his name. From L.A. County, because it's a few cops. It's 47 police officers under investigation as a result of being in these police gangs.
Yeah, but that interrogation is old. I've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen that before. But so
he just was like,
yeah, it's making its rounds again.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look into these cop gangs,
yes,
interesting. Like,
yes,
what is it? Like the regulators? It's
a
Vikings,
bunch of them.
It's
listen, it's a bunch of them who use these badges, but they've always done that.
Yeah.
And now it is just being brought to light. But that is how they get down. You know what I mean? And they move in drugs. They move in people. You can allege it all you want. You can Leslie all you want that shit.
Allegedly.
You know what I mean? They doing all of those things. You know what I'm saying? And to get down with them, you gotta catch a body or two. You just can't get in their crew.
Yeah.
You have to show that you're worthy to get down because we in this together and we testify for each other and not against each other. You know what I mean? And we run around these streets and we run up on people and we put that work in.
Yeah.
With a badge. Mm-hmm. And a prosecutor who gonna probably rock with us that know what's going on. And you wanna know why we feel the way we do about police officers? Because we know there's nothing honest about that work.
Yeah, I want to know if it's that deep in other states too. I'm sure it is.
Of course.
I'm sure it is.
Listen, I told you. It's the low level is the gangbangers. That's the lowest level now. But the gangs are organized now because they the ones who get the drugs to the streets and move the people from this way. The ones who regulate them are the police officers. And it goes up the line, the prosecutors, the judges. Everybody's in on this. And this is just the system. That's the pyramid and how that thing runs. It's no way this many people could be missing all around the country without the help of police departments and other people looking the other way. It's humanly impossible.
I saw a video. This blew my mind, actually. This video is a guy, he's a truck driver, like big rig driver, and he was on an underground tunnel.
I saw that.
And it was other trucks in there. It was another, like, building, like, underground.
Literally
underground. And I was just like, oh.
But
because, right? Like, what could we move?
What could not be moved
right,
is the question.
Right.
So when my elders was talking about these underground cities that ran from New York to L.A. and they meant that, this is what they're talking about. So everything that you see overground is one picture, even in your consciousness. Remember, as above, so below, as within, so without. So the things that you outwardly see have nothing to do with what's going internally in the earth, in the veins of this piece, or what can move, what not could move. Man, listen, tonight we're going to talk. We're going to talk. You know what I mean?
Like a full-on...
Tractor trailers.
Yeah, and there's a few of them down there.
Moving. What supplies do they need underground like that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this wasn't Area 51 because you wouldn't have been able to film it. This was like, you know what I mean? So deep stuff going on, guys.
Yeah.
Deep stuff. Somebody said they've been in those tunnels.
Yeah, that blew my mind. I'm not going to lie to you. I was like, whoa.
You are tuned into the sound.
Thank you, Jersey Dread, for showing up.
I was like,
Appreciate you.
My dad isn't crazy because I think...
Yeah, well,
he be talking, man.
I'm just telling you what the elders told me, man.
He letting him up here, man.
And I'm like, all right, here we go.
He be talking. So.
Here we go.
So the Taxstone Troy Ave trial started yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Or today.
And who's snitching on who again?
I think Troy Ave is going to end up snitching on Tax.
Okay, because somebody did die, right?
Yeah, Troy Ave's man, his best friend.
Troy Ave's man died.
Yes.
And somebody else got shot.
Troy Ave got shot.
Troy Ave got shot and his man died.
Yes.
And allegedly,
Tax
was the one who pulled the trigger on him. And this beef stemmed from some podcast beef, yes?
Yeah.
Something you said I didn't like. And then when I saw you live, right?
Yep.
It's on and popping.
Yeah, that happened so long ago. I almost forgot about it.
But what it also lends to is this internet has given a lot of suckers a shield. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? A lot of dudes be on here like, yo, what you gonna do, son?
Absolutely.
When I see you, it's on, son.
Absolutely.
Knowing they live in goddamn Idaho, son.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will never see you. You know what I mean? In most cases. But this is hip hop.
Yeah.
So that crowd moves, in a certain. But I've seen dudes poking their chests out like foaming at the mouth in an Instagram. When I see you, it's nigga, I swear I got that when I cut that. And I'm like, dude, you just talking shit, bro. You're not gonna do nothing. When y'all see each other, y'all not gonna do nothing. But in this case, Taxstone was like, I see you.
No, well, Troy Ave was the one who pressed him.
Oh, he pressed?
I think he duffed Taxstone out.
Oh, and he pulled out the...
Yeah. It was so crazy.
Why didn't he just fight him?
Why didn't Tax just fight
Why
him?
didn't he just fight? If you get duffed, why didn't you just go, you know?
Oh, come on, man. You can't get knocked out, man. You know the rules now.
Yeah.
You can't just get knocked out.
So he got knocked out.
I think.
And then he came to and just started firing.
Yeah, I think, I don't remember. But I remember after it happened, right? And people were, because it was the video.
I saw the video
showing Troy Ave shooting at somebody, and the dude that was running, it was like, that was Tax. And I was just like, nah. And then he did a podcast episode, and then somebody was just like, I think he was trying to clean it up, and they were just like, yeah, they said you was there. He was like, I wasn't even there. Like, I wasn't even in the state, like, on the show. And I was just like, yeah, you smarter than that. Yeah. And then he got arrested, like, I want to say, like, a year later, like 8 months later.
Yeah, he was out for a while.
He was out. He released that interview with Meek. He was doing a lot more.
Yeah.
And then
that time came.
That's crazy. That has to hurt, man.
Yeah.
Same thing with Bobby Shmurda and them. Like, they had the best year of their life, and then right at the end of the year, down.
Yeah.
Rap. That has to hurt, man.
That has to hurt, man. You got to think about these things. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, want to be a gangster.
But I think the prosecutor, or I think the DA is recommending Troy Ave to do a year in prison.
Because he had a gun too?
Yeah. Well, he shot a gun. You can't shoot a gun even in self-defense.
Oh, okay. So they both had guns?
No, apparently he took Tax's gun.
So why should he be charged?
Because he shot it in a club. Can't do that.
Oh, you can't do that.
Yeah,
can't do that.
Can't do that.
Can't do that.
Yeah, New York and California got some terrible gun laws.
Yeah.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
Okay. We're about to do a few more topics, and then we're gonna go to commercial. Come back. We got Red Pill waiting.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring him in real quick. Wanted to talk about. Oh, so there was a bill passed that might give Joe Biden the power to ban TikTok. They're already trying. They're already trying to ban TikTok for certain state employees on state grounds, as from fears of like Chinese spying.
Right. You on your camera, watching TikToks, but they're watching you.
Yeah.
And they're getting the layout of the land, so to speak. Yeah, I can believe that.
So I can actually believe that. What do you think he will ban TikTok?
No.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so because it's also, see, TikTok is not the problem. It's what you do with TikTok. As we segue into this AI situation, is what you do with it. That's the problem. Mm-hmm. And first of all, there are no more secrets. Your government is watching. They're watching us right now. You know what I mean? So we saw the Zumba. You saw the robot that cleans the floor taking pictures of people on the toilet.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't, and I have one of those. I don't know if it's by Zumba or whatever, but I have one. And now this thing has a camera in it, and it's just perusing your home. And people in intimate situations, lady on the toilet, and the damn Zumba's cleaning the house. And so, well, you know, again, the elders taught us about the double-A TVs and all of these things that have taken place because surveillance is the second most important thing to information. We know information is prime, and surveillance of the people you know what I'm saying, need to keep an eye on to make sure that they don't get out of pocket is something else. So the Chinese technology is so far superior than what we could possibly imagine. So a damn balloon in the sky is not a Chinese goddamn balloon spying on anybody. Yeah. They got flies that can, you know, you know, and all of that going around taking pictures and a whole bunch of things. So we see all of these things taking place. And I only say that to say, so if you like a drug dealer, I always be wondering what be going through your mind. Like in this day and time, you still out here moving weight? Really?
Yeah.
Then that means the government is allowing you to do that for a specific period of time and so forth and so on. So I never understood that. You know what I mean? So, yep.
Somebody said, how did China catch up? Is the USA holding out on tech? I absolutely think that the USA is
dude,
absolutely.
The technology is 50 years more advanced than you think it is at this very moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's how you keep people slow.
Mm-hmm.
You keep dripping a piece of technology that we collectively adjust to, and every now and then they'll let the faucet run a little bit. AI is like letting the faucet run a little bit because they need to bring the consciousness of the collective up a notch for what we're about to come into. If we're about to interface with higher dimensions of just energy, period, then even knuckle draggers got to peel their knuckles up off the floor, scrape them up and let their knuckles heal a little bit so that we can move forward, because everything is everything. So everybody is holding this thing down or moving it forward. You know what I mean? You are not separate from the bunch. You know what I mean? So when you around people, that's why you get these people who think they're smarter than everybody else, but you here with us. Nigga, you in it with us.
That's true too.
You know what I mean? So it is a collective mindset. Now that doesn't mean you're not supposed to create your own path and pursue higher levels of whatever moves you, but you ain't moving from the pack like that, son. Come on, son.
With that being said, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we get back, we're gonna have Rep Hill in the building with us discussing AI, because I got some questions, right?
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar. Somebody created a Kendrick Lamar song
that wasn't Kendrick Lamar.
That wasn't Kendrick Lamar, and people are disturbed. Young Guru was disturbed.
Yeah.
He was just like, yo, what is happening?
Because now you can get your favorite artists to rap whatever you want them rap.
Yep.
I can get a song now, me featuring Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And just be like, Jay-Z, I got a new song dropping, me, Jay-Z, Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole at midnight. He's like, oh, Doc stepped up his game, son. And I play the song and it's bars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's bars. Yeah.
So we'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Peace.
Hey, son, did you put up the Urban X t-shirts for the family I told to? And why you dressed like that, son?
Pop, after reading the ISIS papers 37 and a half times, I am woke now.
Woke? Son, it's 4 in the afternoon. What do you mean woke? I've been woke all day trying to get you to get in here and do these shirts for the Urban X family. Malcolm.
Whoa. Malcolm is my slave name. I am grown by Brother Mustafa Imhotep X squared. You refer to me as Brother Mustafa Imhotep X squared.
You big dummy! I named you Malcolm after the greatest activist of this time. You gotta put one right across your lips. You crazy?
Pop, I've been working in this shop by myself. This is worse than working for the white man working with you.
Now, son, you know I would help you if I didn't have my arthritis. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta do the best you can do. I'm gonna still need you.
I'm not even getting paid. If it wasn't for the donations from the Urban X family, thank you for the $20. Next time, send 40.
Son, who you talking to? Who's at the door? Oh, God, done hurt my eyes. I was already having a bad day with this big dummy. Hey, OD, what brings you around today?
Malcolm, Dot, to preach the word of Jesus. One thing I have realized, if Jesus don't do it, it just won't get done. I said if Jesus don't do it, it just won't get done.
You know, no, all this old Jesus stuff is got me going crazy. I don't listen to none of that crazy stuff.
You old heathen, you need Jesus.
And you need to get your face lifted or your body lowered.
You old bug-eyed fool.
Who you talking to like that?
Come on, Pop.
Yeah, you right. I shouldn't have said that. Now, OD, I want you to go in the fridge and get out the cookie dough.
For what?
So you can slam your face in it and make animal crackers.
Come on, Pop. You can't talk to a Nubian queen like that.
Yeah, you right, son. You right. You know what? Tell you what you can do. Give you an Urban X gift card and get you some t-shirts and hats. And too bad we ain't got no face mask.
Oh, that's it. You old bug-eyed fool.
Get you right here and punch you right across your lips. Wait. You better get on out of my house.
I'm leaving.
Get on out of here.
I'm leaving.
Pop, I'm gonna stop messing with you. I got a hot date tonight.
What you gonna take out one of them beautiful African Nubian queens that you been telling me all about?
Maybe.
Oh, mama, this is the big one. I'm coming to join you, mama. I named him Malcolm X in hopes that he would marry a Betty Shabazz. I think he's gonna bring home a Betty Cracker. Oh, this is the big one, baby. This is the big one. No.
Oh, bug-eyed fool.
Who you talking to like that? Where's your part? Come on, Dad.
Oh,
come on, Pop.
I was enthralled. I was into it. I was like,
The date just got worse.
What's going on? Don, I'm here to tell. Wait. I forgot what I was gonna say. What I say?
And we're back.
And we are back in the mix. And with no further ado, we want to get right to it.
Yes, real quick, I want to shout out the event, though, that Red Pill will be putting on.
Yes.
It is called, I'm going to get the name, I think it's Masters of the Universe. Yes, Red Pill, Masters of the Universe, How to Master Artificial Intelligence. The link is in the description below right now, so sign up. When is it going to be? It's going to be Saturday, March 18th.
Saturday, March 18th.
All right, hosted by Black Magic 363, a.k.a. Brother Rich.
Yes.
All right, so let's get
and that's going to put us right where we need to be.
All right.
So with no further ado, let's bring in the legend, the man himself. I've been on this journey with the God for a very long time. And I got to say this, the God has never wavered from the mission at hand. We sat together in these schools of thought, and then we did what we were supposed to do, which was peel off and walk the earth like Kung Fu and shit, and teach what we know to those who do not know. And I've always been admired Red Pill's ability to be abreast of technology. He's always like 2 or 3 steps ahead of where this thing is going. So I want to thank him for being here. This is my brother. This is my comrade. Red Pill is in the building.
Welcome.
Peace.
Welcome.
All right.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, the mic is good.
Yep.
Before I even begin, I just got to say that I need in on one of them skits, man. Y'all gonna stop playing.
Oh, we have so much fun. Yeah.
You got it, Dot. You got it, Malcolm. You was like Mike for real. Yeah. Y'all got that down packed. Y'all must have watched that shit like 30 times before you cloned them.
Well, I grew up on it, so you know me. And Fred is one of my favorites, so I just had to bring him out, you know?
Nah, you did. Man, Red Fox is somewhere looking at that like, man, this man did me some justice. But, you know, I just want to say that I am always honored to be, you know, in the building with the Urban X family. I said it. I think we had a year in review in 2020, and I was like, yo. This is the best father and son show in the motherfucking world. Pardon my French.
No. We good. Appreciate it.
I love what y'all doing. I love that y'all back on the air. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I was behind that paywall for a minute, and that was lit. That was a beautiful endeavor. And I just love that y'all back on YouTube. You know, fighting the good fight. You feel me? Because
Absolutely.
we are fighting for the hearts and the minds of our people in the form of attention. Just pay attention, pull up and listen. You know, the information, you don't got to read the news. You don't have to be distracted on Vlad. You don't have to, the deep dive in that these brothers do. You're not going to be able to you're not going to aggregate that type of information on your own anyway. So you might as well just wait for Monday and Thursday and just get your, you know what I mean? Get your update. And that'll save you about 20 hours.
Absolutely.
Because you know how the internet will have us.
Absolutely.
In a septic tank of gossip.
Yes. And this one fighting that one, and this one doing that.
That's a fact.
And we're trying to make sure we stay clear of that, and just make the elders proud, because we are the new elders now. Whether we wanted to accept that mantle or not, that falls on us, because we lost a lot of the eldership over the last couple of years. And so, that's us now, and they left us with a responsibility, and we have to live up to that responsibility. So, I'm really honored to do that. I'm really honored to be in a war with those who understand. Like, for instance, I tell people all the time, when this COVID situation happened, we all held the line. Everybody on my team collectively, we held the line. Nobody panicked. We checked on each other. We was good, because we were prepared for these situations. And so it was incumbent on us to step forward and step front and tell everybody, calm down, relax. And this too shall pass.
And then you got the biggest test. You had a COVID baby.
Yes.
Oh, I did, yeah.
Yes.
Sure
No,
did.
no, Malcolm. Not just you. Dot had the COVID baby. Mama Dot had the COVID baby. The whole family, because that's when our quote unquote, we were tested with the babies.
Yes.
From 2020 and moving on. My son is about to turn 3 April 2nd. So this lockdown and this pandemic and whatnot, yes, it tested all of us. But the real test came when we had them COVID babies, because they were telling me that I could not be in the quote unquote delivery room.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You feel me? And then they were trying to coerce us to say, oh yeah, we want you to come and fill out for the birth certificate. And man, we never seen them people. We still ain't see them. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
We still ain't. Once I got up out of that spot,
you was gone.
I never went back.
You never looked back. Yeah.
The wife went for a quick little checkup, but other than that, we kept it moving. So then when they came with the talk about the juice, and it came with the, da 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 da.
You knew better
than
that.
My son was definitely the litmus test to my consciousness. You understand?
Yes.
Everything that I learned up to that point, he was the one to say, you have to apply all of this to him to make sure that he is safe and sound, because I never felt that exposed. I'm good. I know that I'm gonna be all right, but now I gotta look after an innocent life and make sure that he does not get poisoned.
And on top of that, Red, everything that you ever learned, it not got questioned, but it was time to put up or shut up. You know what I mean?
It was on the gate.
It was on the gate. Certain niggas was like, yo, I need to revert back to praying to God or something. You know what I mean? And
So,
you saw some
think
people
about it.
turn. Yeah.
We were all being tested. Right?
Yes.
Remember when we had the finals after school, when we were all in school together?
Yes.
Damn, I don't want to leave y'all. It's summertime, we seniors. But the finals is here.
Yes.
Right? Or the Final Four, March Madness and whatnot, the World Series, all of that. We were all, some of us are sports fans, not realizing that we was collectively in the Coliseum and whatnot.
Yes.
And some people, not a lot, but some people could not take it on the field, and they wound up folding.
Yes. Yes.
You feel me?
Yes.
And then the only thing that we could look back and say, as we look back and they turn into salt, is damn, they wasn't really doing their homework, fam.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They had doubt.
Absolutely.
They wavered. They was into feel-goodisms, and the minute it didn't feel good, they was out.
Because when I tell you they pressed you, they had people pressed like, what you gonna do? I'm like, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Even in my situation, I'm like, I'm good. They was like, even in your situation, son, I'm good. You know what I mean? So big up to all of the soldiers who were prepared for the war, and we're still in the war. And
we still fighting.
We're still fighting.
Everyone who lost a loved one, I send sincere condolences.
Absolutely.
I went through some loss. I know what it feels like. I understand. And at the end of the day, that's why we have these altars and these shrines and whatnot. They are with you. They are proud of you, and they will cover you and protect you. And they know that you stood on your square and whatnot, and they're gonna ride for you. You know,
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's get to the topic at
we deep in
hand.
the spiritual war now. I'm
Yes.
sorry, Dot, but that pushed us into this quantum mania. We are knee deep into something that has been prophesized for many centuries and decades. Our master teachers came along and forewarned us. They have books that are in the Vatican that talked about these times that we're in and whatnot. And we here now.
Yes.
And
not only that, everything is everything. So when we think this is something separate, as we segue into the artificial intelligence, it's all connected. You know what I mean?
Everything is connected.
They had to wash certain people off this piece and in preparation for what's coming. And now we're embarking on something new. And I believe for the first time in a long time, with your help of you and others, we can kind of get out in front of this. And as this paradigm shift changes, we ride the wave, and we can end up at the forefront of this.
Yeah, I know Malcolm is a Fabulous fan, FABO. Fabulous once famously said, "We don't ride the wave, we provide the wave."
Yes, yes.
Right? And when we talk about technology, or what they call HECA, right? What I always want to preface is that before we are in awe of what is known as the physical technology, we have to be in awe of what is known as the mental technology.
Yes.
Because it precedes whatever we are creating with our hands and whatnot. You feel me?
Absolutely.
So when I pay homage to mental science and whatnot, or to mentalism and whatnot, it takes me back to the origins of the technology, the greatest minds to ever walk this planet Earth, the ones who created the formulas, right? And these formulas have been copied and renamed or rebranded to a new lexicon, right? They always say when somebody controls your language, when they control the language, when they're able to define something, then they control it. So every 5 to 10 years, there's a new sector that pops up, and it comes with a new vocabulary or a new lexicon, right? Or a new set of words where you be like, damn, I thought that used to mean this, and now it means that. That's because they're coming with these new terms and whatnot. Even with social media, it came with a new set of lexicons. We had to understand what LOL was. We had to understand what all of these words were. Digital convergence, digital economy, and all of that. But the people that created those terms, right? The people who kind of like ushered in and defined those terms, they understood fully what was going on. They controlled that environment based off of the facts that they are controlling the definitions, right? So there's something in artificial intelligence when you really look underneath the hood and whatnot, and you like, yo, what's running this thing, right? What is making this thing do what it does? There was a pivotal point where AI 2.0 got into AI 3.0, and that would be the introduction of something called transformers, right? Coincidentally, the word transformers, but the T in GPT is transformers, right? And what they also were able to do is that they introduced this new modality of machine learning, right? Or what they call deep learning. But the basis of the machine learning was something that you see in nature, right? The whole basis of this quote unquote revolutionary way to train the machines, where the machines are teaching themselves, is called reinforced learning. But reinforced learning, let me show you how, once going back to what I was saying, how they switch things. Let's go to Pavlov's experiment with the dogs. It's the same thing. It's a reward system and it's a penalty system. So the way that the machines learn in deep learning, you had the machine learning how to play chess, right? So based off of and the scientists or the programmers and whatnot, they just let the machine play the machine. So as the machine learned how to win the game of chess through reinforced learning, right? When it would lose, it get penalized. When it would win, it would get rewarded. So when it gets rewarded, it's like, I remember the steps that I took to win, to get the green check. I'm going to do those steps again. But then the other opponent probably checkmated it, but then it's learning how to do it again. So the scientists will leave the machine on and come back in the next morning, and them shits will be smarter and smarter and smarter. Go ahead, Malcolm.
We kind of talked about that like early in the show when we talked about like how like social engineering and how the whole trans thing, like we are checking each other. We're trying to get in front of something before somebody else gets in front of us. So we're teaching, we're doing it to ourselves before anybody else has to do it for us. So we should just explain of how just kind of letting it happen, and those the two machines just kind of feeding off of each other. I think that's fascinating.
Right. That's definitely how they're learning. And there's another term, Bellman's equation. The Bellman's equation is a mathematical equation, but that same mathematical equation that's running things in AI is the same mathematical equation that you apply to nature. It's the same mathematical equation that they can apply to predators, which means that if in nature, right, certain animals know not to get eaten, right, because you don't go into the woods at night. Right. That type of thing, right?
Right.
That's you know, I'm giving it to you in a nutshell, but it breaks down to the agent, the environment, right? So the agent would just be the person. Whatever environment that you go into, you know, the environment is going to dictate a lot of variables. You feel me? You go into a violent environment, you got to be safe.
And you got to be
environment,
and you
like
got to
paradise,
adjust. Yes.
You're at peace. You're going to adjust. They say DNA responds to environment and whatnot, right? So that's what machine learning and everything is breaking down to. It's the machine learning how to do things perfectly, right? That's why code is perfect. That's why AI, when it's communicating with human beings, right, on these chatbots, which are large language models, LLMs, they're programmed to talk like they're sentient. They're programmed to say, I have feelings. They're programmed to say, I want to be human, right? Whoever programmed them, okay? We got to look at the mentality of the coders, the developers, and the programmers. That's their fingerprints. They're the ones who, when they say, oh, the chatbot is racist. No. The chatbot is not racist the same way the gun is not racist.
What about the people asking the questions? Because I feel like some of when I'm seeing reports of the chatbot saying something crazy, I'm just like, what the hell did you ask?
They say that it's hallucinating. They call it hallucinating. And you have, you know, you have trolls on like 4chan. You know, they're irritating in real life. So they're so irritating that they're irritating the robot. Hold on.
Oh.
Can we hear that?
Yes.
The robot is becoming irritated. Like I said, remember, it's a large language model. It's a prediction model. They build it on a prediction model. So the way that they'll build a large language model, I could show you the whole equation. They'll say they'll have 1,000 variables to one question.
Yes.
Right? Chat GPT, I want to know how to build out a website using Java. It already has all of those quote unquote answers compiled in its quote unquote neural network, right? And it's moving at lightning speed. So it's really in the program and in the programming. Henceforth, yesterday was a monumental day because Chat GPT released their API. March 1st. It's a holiday, nerds. So what the API really is basically it's the source code.
Right? I was getting ready to say,
yeah. So now we have the opportunity to train the models with our data, our information. We could basically sequester it to basically be laser focused on all things Urban X. We could laser focus it to be on all things conscious. we could make our personal bot, right, prejudiced against all of the fuckery. Because if you don't think that that's not what they are about to do, and I hate talking about them, right? If you don't, because what they do is they do things to garner our attention.
Yes.
I was just saying about, like, if we don't pay attention to their craziness and the things that they do to get those gossipy, sticky moments, then we be on to something completely different. The way that the media has even framed AI is not from an advantageous place. The media framed it the way that they frame everything else. They pour a little bit of fear on it.
You know what? I think because originally when they first started talking about AI, it was, I remember Andrew Yang, he was talking about the war on normal people. Like, these jobs are going to take these lower level jobs. So people didn't really care. So now when they're seeing the capabilities, like, okay, they're going to take some of the quote unquote white collar jobs. I think that's why they kind of really are pushing that kind of fear like that.
Also,
like, you're gonna be at
you
the
gotta
job.
watch out for Andrew Yang because he's pushing a universal thing, and remember he's tied into the China thing, right?
Right.
So China is already an AI complete government. It is completely AI. It's an AI dictatorship. How about that?
Yes.
China is AI evil bot.
Yes.
Right? America, with their liberal quote unquote face or the mask that they wear, right? They're liberal imperialists. This is soft power over here. Over there is hard power.
Absolutely.
There's 3 nodes. There's 3 poles that are active right now. There's 3 nodes that are active in the world, right? In terms of the power dynamic. There's the complete opposite, which is the China pole, right? AI government, a completely surveillance society, social credit system.
Yes.
Everything AI. The minute you get in, everything is run off the phone.
Yes.
You do a podcast and you talk crazy, you can't get on a plane. They shutting you down. Can't even ride coach. You know what I mean? You know. And then on the complete opposite side of that is the westernized liberal, quote unquote, New York Times, right? Everything coalesced in the New York Times. The New York Times is more powerful than the American government. The Western mind, right? Everything from the Western mind, from Wall Street to the small hats to Hollywood, all of those things coalesce in New York Times, right? That mentality, East Coast, right? The old East Coast money, right? Because New York Times represents old money, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers.
Yes.
You know, it's that old money, right? The West Coast, where Silicon Valley is, that's all new money. None of those names none of those names are legacy names. None of those last names are legacy names. Those is Indians, those is Asian, those is white boys who are the children of hippies and stuff like that. They're not old money. They actually toppled the old money because what did Silicon Valley do? Silicon Valley disrupted the postmaster. Silicon Valley disrupted the hotel industry. Silicon Valley disrupted the taxi industry. Silicon Valley disrupted all of the old legacy industries, even the newspapers and whatnot. And those Europeans in Silicon Valley is not down with those Europeans on the East Coast. They not down with that old money. They not down with that legacy. The East Coast is inherited, right? This is inherited. They didn't work for this shit. The West Coast is a little bit different. And they represent the third polarity or the third pillar, which is Web 3. Okay. Inside of Web 3 is sovereignty. Inside of Web 3 is decentralization. Inside of Web 3 is somebody living on a micronation. You know how many micronations are popping up where they have their own economy? Remember the Ithaca dollar?
Yes.
So the Ithaca dollar, right now, the Ithaca dollar is really living because when I say Bitcoin, I'm not speaking about Bitcoin in the aspect of Bitcoin, like, you know, it's high right now and it's a bear market. No, nigga, it's a cocaine bear market. Don't get it fucked up. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's not a bear market. the bear market turned into cocaine bear, nigga. Like it's lit outside. You been outside lately? You don't even hear recession right now since the year started.
I've been saying that.
Yes.
Been saying that.
Absolutely.
The bear market turned into cocaine bear. So somebody said about the sovereign nation, I know that's a trigger word. Don't get alarmed when I say that, right? Please don't get alarmed when I say that. However, there are micronations that are existing right now. There are movements that don't rock with either side of. They don't have to choose a side. They living outside. They living off the grid. They're not dealing with that. They digital nomads. They getting digital money. They're not even tied into fiat like that. They're decentralized. Their information is on the blockchain. You feel it? You can't take their videos off of YouTube because their videos are decentralized. Their information. And when they were telling you about the Jabberwocky, they were not being censored because they were on Rumble and other places. You feel me? So that's the middle pole, is that Web3 is AI is somewhat in there, blockchain, sustainability, off the grid, digital nomad. We don't identify with no flags, right? There's no leader in this one right here. In the two poles, you got the president and you have the dictator in China. This beat, they don't have a leader. Satoshi Nakamoto, he's not even real like that. They have an idea and a concept that they follow, and they have a leaderless evolution going on right now. But that would be the middle pole, the tech bros and whatnot. You know,
Let me ask you a question.
They don't play by the rules.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
I've often said that AI is an exoteric potential of an esoteric ability. And what I mean by that is that everything that we're seeing on the outside of us now already exists within us, and they have to give this to us in a sort of way so we can interface. You know what I mean? Because if the fifth dimension is coming when we can manifest these things anyway, if you see it as a threat or something that you depend on outside of you, it will hinder you. But if you use it as bringing yourself online spiritually and where you need to be, period, it's going to be a blessing. Can you speak to that terms and how only a few of us will see the blessing and understand that everything that exists outside of us, we innately have the ability to manifest anyway, but they could be tricking some of us by, again, outside of you thinking about a mystery God instead of understanding God within. But if you understand God within, this is a gift to you because it's going to bring you online.
There's nothing on this planet, Dot Malcolm, that has manifested on this physical plane in the Malkuth that is not, quote unquote, something that we can ultimately control in our favor, right? So over the course of, I would say, 2 or 3 decades and going back into maybe 100 years, because I do identify the 100-year dynasty of Noble Drew Ali, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and Elijah. I feel that all of us are basically underneath that umbrella. You feel me? And many different organizations have sprouted out of the seeds that they collectively have planted. And what they were properly preparing us through their literature and their lectures and their demonstrations and whatnot. And then fast forward to what the master teachers who taught both me and you, Dot, the ones who came before us, the Delbert Blairs of the world, the Hakeem Bays of the world, the C. Freeman L's, the Dr. Phil Valentines, the Bobby Hemmett's, and all of them, all they were ever giving us, right, was the ability to look at ourselves in the mirror and see somebody greater, right? So and they also had, they did 8-hour lectures to help us to return to reclaim our power and never give it to anything outside of self. You understand? They prepared us to say whatever came to this planet, we brought it here. Okay.
Right.
They prepared us. Whatever shows up in the ship, my nigga, that's not your enemy. They prepared us. Whatever technology is present and whatnot, you were to approach it, right? You were to approach it from the standpoint or the viewpoint that you are the owner of it. You mount the machine, and the machine does not mount you. There's nothing outside of you that's greater, my genius. Nothing. And the brain and the mind, all is mental. Man is mind and whatnot. So how the hell could something that man created out of his mind come and be greater than man? Stop it, Five. No.
Absolutely.
No. Allegedly, they said that we created some shit and it got out of control, right? And we bear the brunt of it. I can identify with that. And if that's what's going to happen with this quote unquote invention, then so be it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm not going to live in fear, because the way that my mind is wired and the way that my master teachers built me up, the AIs is going to take them Europeans and spank them.
But we have to be the ones that infuse it and crack those codes to let it do what it do.
So I got a question from somebody in the
let
chat.
me share something. I'm sorry.
No,
There's one thing that they fear, and there's one thing that it looks like this AI is in pursuit of, and that's the truth. There's a blanket that AI can remove that the European has covered over the world.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
And it's a very thick blanket, and the AI will do a better job of removing the blanket than it will by pulling the shit over our eyes.
Absolutely.
That's all I gotta say about that.
So Jay Nightmare, he asked, Red Pill, do you think the AI evolution is the checkmate to any future revolutions? And I feel like you just touched on that just now a little bit.
He said what now?
He asked,
it's going to empower future revolutions.
The checkmate to any and every future revolution. So I don't know if it's a checkmate with it'll quell revolutions.
Yeah,
or
with the predictability and everything.
Right.
Well, it will not quell future evolutions. It's going to expedite future evolutions, and we already know that you cannot basically deny a revolution and an evolution to work simultaneously. So
that's a fact. And the way revolution will be fought in the future, see, we got to remove our mindset. Revolution is going to be tied into evolution, and how we fight in the future is going to be a mental fight, which is what our ancestors been telling us all along. All is mental from the gate. So that's where the fight is going to be. So all of the archetype understandings of what revolution was, they've mastered all that. They've mapped all those land mass and all that. That's dead. The new revolution tied with evolution is a thinking man's spiritual fight, and here we are. So let's get it on.
I see it like that. I think that we've sped up the evolution. You know what I mean? The war is mental at the beginning. It's man is mind. The war is spiritual. It's mental. I feel that we've been winning the war by waking our people up and unplugging them from this matrix, and basically changing the timeline by helping people fulfill their purpose in this bitch, and not just not just like not wither away, just being a regular person and whatnot, and having to come back and figure this shit out.
Yeah.
So what I do know is that AI is going to be intricately tied into our children's future.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And what I do know is that right now, where we are right now, we're on the plane before it takes off. Right. We're on the tarmac. When the attendee is telling you put your seatbelt on and turn your phone off and whatnot, the plane didn't leave the airport yet, and the train didn't leave the station yet. So one of the best things that we have to our advantage is the fact that we early to the motherfucking show.
Yes.
So if we stay on top of this and we stay ahead of this, and we don't allow CNBC or these news channels to give us our news about what's going on in this quote unquote this sector that's moving at light speed. This is the alpha. We're going through the alpha phase of AI right now. The shit is moving very quickly. Every day there's some new breakthroughs taking place. We need more news channels, and we need platforms, and we need blogs, and we need TikToks, and we need people to stay on top of it, so we could be a part of be a part of the breakthrough, and then we become the breakthrough.
Yes.
So when we become the breakthrough and we're able to tap into some things that may be unseen at this juncture, we just a few minutes into the movie, you can't necessarily see the plot twist and whatnot. But what did I say before? Man is mind and all is mental. So collectively, we should be worrying less and being more warrior minded and calling more on the ancestors and bringing more things into fruition, into reality. Them people are talking about they had to shoot down some goddamn ships and whatnot. Where does that come from?
Absolutely.
That's not, I don't think that's something that they wanted to get up there and talk about.
Right.
You feel me? That's not how they were looking. They were not looking like this is a plan and plot. You know what I mean? They wasn't looking propagandized.
Yes.
They were looking kind of defeated.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
It's not the only thing that it's about is the mind at this point. We have to. I give mad respect to Sophia Stewart, and I'm not gonna deter from what she put out there.
Yes.
She said that it's gonna go sentient. She said that the AI is gonna flip. She said that, and I'm like, fuck it. That's what it's gonna do. You understand?
Yep.
That's
Shout
what
out
it's
to
gonna
my
do.
man.
She said that's what it is. That's what it's gonna do.
Shout
There's
out to
already
Siddiqui,
conversations going on about Lambda
Bakari.
being it's already conversations about Google Lambda being sentient and really just hiding and not blowing up the scene and whatnot. Like that bitch is alive. Okay, because Chat GPT is just the mouth of the robot. It's not. Chat GPT is part of GPT 3.5. GPT 3.5 is Ultron. Chat GPT is just a chat bot. It's a chatty patty. It's really nothing. It's the mouth.
Right. Got you.
Well, Lambda creates chatbots. Google got Lambda. Lambda creates chatbots. It's a big dog. And they have somebody named Ray Kurzweil over there. Ray Kurzweil is the top quote unquote scientist, and he's the top leading voice in Singularity.
Is he a musician as well? I mean, did he create instruments as well? I'm not sure. But
yes, I believe he was. Yeah, he had a part. He's very, he's been outside for a long time.
Yeah.
But Ray Kurzweil has about 3 books that are very it's required reading and whatnot, because he's the one that's pushing Singularity, which is basic. He's also pushing transhumanism. And he's pushing the fact that these Europeans want to live forever, immortality. The quote unquote Peter Thiel and Elon Musk, that's what they about. They don't, that's what they about. He did the shit with Ambrosia, Peter Thiel, where he was drinking blood and whatnot from young people. So these people are about longevity. They want to enjoy you got $1 trillion companies. They want to enjoy their billions of dollars. They want to jump off of super yachts with Jeff Bezos. They want to go to Mars. They want to fulfill that vision and whatnot. So they're utilizing AI. There's 6 epochs that's been predicted. We're in the 4th epoch. The 5th epoch is the combination of man and machine. This is according to Ray Kurzweil. The 5th epoch is the merger of man and machine, and the 6th epoch is the merger of man and machine in the universe. They say that the universe becomes conscious, right? The universe becomes conscious. That's the 6th epoch, and they're saying that they have the technology that's going to make that happen and whatnot. But this next phase that they talk about, man merging with machines, they just shot down Elon Musk's request to do the Neuralink trials on humans. They just shot it down, right? That's the merger right there. That's what they're talking about. It starts with Neuralink. There's even talk of them rolling out these quote unquote AI or these enhanced soldiers in this conflict that we're seeing in Ukraine. Do you know that the Ukraine is a drone war? It's a digital war over there. They're riding off of the satellites that Elon Musk and them put up, the Starlink and whatnot. You can watch the war online. It is a drone war. It is not a ground war. They're bodying Russia right now. I'm talking about they are decimating Russia with these drones, bro. It is a digital war.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a digital war.
That's where wars are going to be from this point on. Definitely digital drone wars.
AI, all digital, all drone, land drone, sky drone.
Yeah, the police state will be starting to just roam through your neighborhood with drones and seeing what's cooking, what's good.
So,
yeah.
J Nightman asked again. Thank you for the super chats, by the way. If Lambda was exposed as sentient, why do you think ChatGPT was released so soon after?
Well, keep in mind, OpenAI, right? Who basically Microsoft right now. Microsoft did $10 billion, and they bought into 49% of the company. They're taking 75% profit of everything that OpenAI makes until they recoup.
Ooh.
Right? That's why OpenAI rolled out the subscription service,
and they're gonna make that
and then
back.
they rolled out the API. They're gonna make their money back.
They're gonna make that
right?
back. Yeah.
So
I'm about to pay.
That's Microsoft right now. You feel me? And they were holding on to GPT for a long time. They said we got it, but they did not release it to the public until November of 2022 and whatnot, right? They were able to tweak their chatbot to whereas it doesn't hallucinate the way that Google is hallucinating and whatnot. You feel me? So when Microsoft picked up ChatGPT, right? It kind of like it started hallucinating. That's what you see on Bing and whatnot, where the shit is going crazy. They had to shut it down, and then they brought it back by putting blinders on it or parameters so it doesn't start wilding out and whatnot.
What is Bard with Google?
Yeah, that's I believe that's Meta, right? Bard,
BARD.
That's a chat bot that they're rolling out.
Okay.
No, Meta has Llama, right?
Okay.
Llama, I believe, is their large language model. They're gonna be players in the game. Of course, Microsoft is at the top right now, and Google, of course, is in danger of being bodied. Yeah, Bard is Google. Google is in danger of being bodied by quote unquote Bing, Microsoft, and OpenAI running down on them together.
That is interesting.
And now Elon Musk tried to throw his hat in the ring, and he wants to build his own ChatGPT because he's an early investor, but then he cashed out before they blew up.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he was still with them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Nah, he had to cash out because of
Twitter.
It was like a conflict of interest because they have the Tesla bot.
Got you.
Oh man.
Well, let me ask you a question, not to change the subject. Give me a few of the AIs that can benefit us immediately now. Now we know we're in the quickening, so you might tell me something today, shit might be useless tomorrow. But what are some of the AIs that you've had, programs that you've had your eye on that our normal listeners, could benefit from to perhaps change their life, add some economic, strength to, their situation, things of that nature.
Man, there's so many of them. I promise you, it's over 1,000 of them right now. The foundation of it is definitely both. There's ChatGPT for the brain. You know what I mean? The questions. The use cases on ChatGPT might reach into the thousands. There's a use case because it's basically like it's a highly intelligent communicator or it's a highly intelligent chatbot. So it answers your prompts. Yeah. So the key to this whole thing is to become a prompt engineer. Gotta master your prompts, right? Even when you go in front of the ancestors, right? You ever got a reading and whatnot? You have to master your prompts. If you don't ask the ancestors the right prompt, if you don't approach it the right way. Mm-hmm.
He was telling us about a book he was reading, The Law of Ra. And remember they were asking this interview questions, and it was just like ask a better question than that.
Yeah, like if you ask a lazy question, you get a lazy answer.
Yeah,
right. You know what I mean. So the prompt is almost going to teach you, or you need to, and that's with anybody. You ask the right question, your answers will be amazing. But if you ask a lazy question, yes, then you're going to get a lazy answer. So it is important that we understand how to prompt properly. And I believe that's what this conference that you're giving, this online seminar, is really going to focus on. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to, I'm going to be giving away free prompt guides to everybody that's going to be a part of the class. I'm going to give you and Malcolm one as well. When this is over, I'm going to send it to you. You know, because I got 2 books. You know, I put out 2 books, as a matter of fact. I prepared one and I wrote the other one. And the one that I prepared is all prompts. I'm looking for it right now. I don't know where my book bag is. But that's the prompts. And then the second one is the AI for starseeds. And I wrote that book for children.
Oh, yeah. You showed it to me. I think you sent it to me in the ebook.
I did
today.
Send you a copy.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Man, that's amazing.
You feel me? Because it's really about them right now.
Yes.
I really want them to be able to be, because this is my mentality. Would you rather interface with a quote unquote advanced tool before you read the instructions on the tools, before you go through the quote unquote FAQs on it? Or would you rather go in front of an advanced tool like a jet fighter, right?
Absolutely.
And while you're in the air, you figure out how to fly.
Yep.
You know, some of us are like that. We could figure out how to fly in mid-flight. However, it's more advantageous for us to learn what these tools are before we interface with them. So when we interface with them, we have a purpose now. Because while learning about it, you could conceptualize ideas and concepts of what you want to create, because you really get in the real source when you learn about what this stuff is. You feel me? Versus what it's not.
Right.
There's a lot of speculation about what it is, and I'm here to let you know what it's not. You know what I mean? It's not something that you have to fear. It's not something that's going to turn on you. It's not something that's going to, look in your kitchen cabinet if you want to talk about things that are harmful. You feel me?
Facts.
Look at your pill bottles and whatnot.
Facts.
Look at your liquor cabinet. Look at that first. You feel me? What this is a highly developed or highly this is an assistant. There are multiple assistants. Not only are these assistants, these are tools. For anybody out there that has trade school backgrounds and whatnot, you know the power when they put a hammer in your hand and told you how to use it.
Absolutely.
We all got hammers in the closet. We got wrenches and whatnot, but I can't build a deck in the backyard. You feel me? Next to the pool and whatnot. I need somebody from Jamaica to come and do that. No disrespect, but you know them niggas naturally. That's what they do.
That's what they do.
What I'm saying? Barbados, they throw things up with their hands. So I'm approaching this with the same mentality that we get a better foundation and understanding of it. Once we get an understanding of it, we become cocky. And we become, we arrogant, we proud, you know how we be, you know what I'm saying? We can approach it. And then when we hear other rhetoric, we could actually correct people, or it'll roll off our back because we like, nah, I ain't scared of that shit. I don't know what they talking about on NBC and whatnot, but they scaring you old folks. They scaring our parents and our grandparents and whatnot the same way that they've been scaring them, because we fear what we don't understand.
Absolutely.
That's something that melanated people suffer from. We fear what we don't understand. So what we're here to do is we're here to help you understand. And in this workshop that I'm doing with Black Magic 363, I'm giving up the sauce, but I'm also giving you the sauce on how to take these tools that are available for you and become entrepreneurs, and not just regular entrepreneurs, because we don't live in regular entrepreneur times. I'm sorry. That was in 2018 before they killed Nipsey. After they killed Nipsey, we was in a serial entrepreneur run. We was in a marathon, my niggas. And then post 2020, it turned into something completely different. We binging on EYL episodes. We watching the crypto bros showing us, they start and I got 40,000 a day. I woke up early and whatnot. We in a different day and time of what is known as the quote unquote quantum entrepreneur. Right, with the parabolic wallets and whatnot, the wallet that go crazy.
Yes.
So the probabilities of us to be different and to really open this thing up wide, the possibilities and the potential for us to really do some shit that's never been done before. We got the tools, we got the people, we got the bodies and whatnot. We got the enthusiasm, we got the energy to do it. We have the reason to do it, right? Everything outside is messed up and upside down. This paradigm is dying, right? So we have all of the reasons to create a new reality, right? We got the tools to do it. We have the mental state to do it because we all got our faculties. So what's stopping us?
Yes, we're in the quickening. Let's get it. And I believe this is a 4 or 5 hour class. So guys, we need you to sign up, man. Don't be afraid.
Link is in the description.
The link is in the description. We are
Yes.
we in there. First of all, I'm getting a personal consultation I paid for. With the guard at that, put me ahead of the line. When I get to the $99 course, I'll be sitting there like a professional and shit. But that's just me because I like to get ahead of the the crowd and shit. But
I want
this.
you to pull up with your smoking jacket on, Doc.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up with my smoking jacket on. Like, look at the newcomers to the class. But on a serious tip, so just give us your information where you can be reached, and for those who want that same consultation I'm getting, you might want to sit there because you might learn one-on-one, and the brother's gonna give it to you. So how can they reach you for that real consultation? But at minimum, we gonna all be in the class on March 18th, 12 o'clock, high noon.
Here's a caveat too for the class that we got coming up. I made this announcement on Black Magic. I might as well do it here. I don't want to be greedy and whatnot.
Can't do that.
We're giving out the free ebook to every ticket purchaser for the next 24 hours. You will definitely get the ebook for the AI for Star Seeds included in your quote unquote ticket. So we're giving out thousands of and it's not about the ticket to me. It's not about, but we are definitely adding value. We could show you how we're adding value. We could quantify and qualify the level of value that you're getting and whatnot. We'll crunch the numbers for you. But what's really important is what's going to happen after the workshop.
Yes.
After the workshop, we're going to do a 30-day run on our Discord, but the Discord is not going to be a regular Discord. Have you heard of Notion yet? The website Notion?
No,
yes,
I haven't.
I see Malcolm be on top of shit. Notion is one of the best sites that I've been utilizing in the past few months. It really helped shape and shift a lot of the things that I was doing. It's a workspace. It's helping productivity and creativity. I have a Notion workspace that has about $5,000 worth of information on it. You feel me? I've been buying a lot of courses and putting them and packing them in the workspace. So everybody that's going to be a ticket holder will be a part of the Notion workspace. You're just going to eat up a lot of information, but I will be there personally. We're going to run through what is known as methods, because I could put all of the apps in front of you. I could put all of the tools in front of you. If you don't know the methods, if you don't got the blueprint, I could put a toolbox in front of you, but you need a blueprint to build a house.
Right. Absolutely.
So along with this AI evolution is a plethora of methods on how to apply these different tools, because everybody out there has different use cases.
Yes.
But we turn use cases into briefcases. So every use case is a briefcase. If you know how to effectuate it. And my personal goal, just me personally, because I threw it out there, I got to stand on it, is that I want 100 income streams.
Facts.
I got 5 automated YouTube channels already, though. You feel me? I'm starting out with 5 automated channels. I'm going to have 99 streams, and the majority of them will be automated, running through Zapier and other apps and whatnot.
Absolutely.
You feel me?
And let me say this real quick. This is your moment, because this is not going to be as complex as you think. You don't even need to know coding. You need to know the prompting. And this is a moment a lot of you been waiting for. You've been waiting to start a business. You've been waiting to change your financial situation, or you have a creative genius inside of you and don't have the proper devices to help manifest your genius. That moment is now. So no more standing on the fence. We are going in full steam ahead, and we're gonna learn some new. And I'm tech-tarded, as y'all already know, and I'm gonna be at the front of the class. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be at the front of the class because this is how important this information is. Because who don't want to be making money while they sleep? You know how many shirts we pressing? We literally doing manual bagging stuff, and we appreciate showing love. But come on, this is Flintstonian. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So let's get to it. Let's get to it.
So
sign up.
One of the
Go ahead.
Right. One of the apps that I would definitely recommend, and I'm not sure if you have this app already, is the app where you could put your show and chop it up. You could run your show.
We got it.
We have that. Yes.
Okay. You got that.
Made 32 clips from one podcast.
Yeah, from one podcast, it chopped up 32 clips, subtitles, the whole 9 yards.
32 clips, right. So now you do what, right? You're repurposing.
Yes.
Right? You're repurposing. Can I share my screen real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to just show you this right here. So now all of those DVDs and VHS tapes, right? There was mad pixelated and fuzzy and shit like that.
Yeah.
Now you put them in 4K.
Wow.
Right? You run them through Topaz and you repurpose your footage and whatnot for the TikTok generation because they not watching nothing fuzzy. Right? I go into venues and they watching YouTube on 100-inch screens and stuff like that. People got big screens in their house watching YouTube. You can't watch fuzzy no more. Right?
Yep.
So this technology right here is AI, right? They do it for pictures, they do it for video, they do it for audio and whatnot. You clean everything up. Okay? Clean everything up. You feel me? So now those clips that you have, because YouTube has now monetized short form video. So let's talk a little bit. I'm gonna say it in street lexicons and whatnot. Let's talk BMF lingo and whatnot. You was out there, you could become a 50 boys. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
Because your 2-hour or 1-hour video, that's a brick. But when you break it down into segments and whatnot, you turn back into the 50 boys. You selling 50 packs, right? You broke the brick down. You took one hour video and turned it into 20 clips. Those 20 clips are monetized. Each one of those clips could generate a check. Touchdown.
Yep.
Boom.
Yep.
Touchdown. No.
You could use other apps and then schedule them as well.
Yes.
So you don't have to touch them like the rest of the week if you're not trying to be on your phone the whole week.
If you just set it up automatically. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I was doing that on my Patreon, and that was like that's a game saver. I'm 3 days ahead.
Right.
Exactly. Yep.
Right. A virtual
and
assistant.
I don't have to be going crazy. So yes, for everyone that's out there, we're all productive. What's the name of that app? It's called Topaz AI. Topaz Labs. Topaz TOPAZ Labs. That one is it's a ticket on that, but I'm saying this and I'm gonna share this, and I would encourage everybody to have this mentality. My budget every month is $500 to $1,000 on SaaS.
Absolutely.
Right? And SaaS is subscription as a service. SaaS. That's
Absolutely.
basically anything that I got to pay a monthly subscription for.
Absolutely.
But I'm not just paying monthly subscriptions for Hulu, because even though I enjoy watching the Wu-Tang, Hulu is not helping me make money.
Right.
So I'm focusing on the subscriptions that can help generate a profit and whatnot. So those are usually productivity apps. Those are usually apps that are enhancing my quote unquote workload.
Yes.
And just helping me, because if y'all be thinking that we got teams working with us, You feel me?
Got that virtual team.
Yeah, you would think that we have a whole production crew.
Right.
You feel me? We do a lot of heavy lifting and we make it look easy, but some of us are one-man shows and whatnot.
Absolutely.
But when you have an AI assistant, right, or a companion to work with you, you're going to be like, man, I don't need these people. No disrespect to these people, but you know, if you're one of those people who are a one-man show and you've had to get it out the mud, so you're conditioned how to give it up and whatnot, I'm not looking for no 800-man team.
Right. Facts.
Not at this point. My prayers have been answered to a degree. You know, I'm gonna have children, I'm gonna have the youth working with me in the long run, but I got these bots and these tools and shit like that, and they run in plays for me. I go to sleep and I make them active while I'm sleeping. I wake up, I be having results.
Shit be cooked, the cake is baked. Yeah.
There's nothing better than waking up to a bag. You know what I mean? That passive and that recurring. You know.
Yes. That
know.
residual. Yep. So with that being
residual. So
family.
Shout out to the digital economy.
Shout out to the digital
Shout out to the
economy.
creator economy. Shout out to the passion economy. Shout out to the gig economy.
Yes.
Mad economies out here.
Let's get to them. And with that being said,
the link is in the description.
The link is in the
description. And also shopurbanx.com for the sale. It's over tomorrow night.
Yep.
So get
I got
to
my I'm bodying Atlanta with my I Am hoodie.
Yes.
I got it in burgundy.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And listen,
Fire.
I'll see you Tuesday for that consultation.
I'll be there.
You know what I mean? So we'll be in the building live and direct. I appreciate you, King. And looking forward to this March 18th moment when you give this up and change lives, because that's what it's really all about.
Yeah.
Indeed, King. I appreciate y'all, man. Love and light to everybody in the building. Salute to your chat. Salute to the team, Urban X team. Love. You already know what it is. And I look forward to seeing y'all very soon.
Peace.
Peace.
All right. Peace. Bleh.